You are listening to episode 10 of the Aligned Actor podcast. Guys, episode 10! That's fun! And here's what's funny. We're going to talk about eliminating the word just from how we talk about things happening in our careers. And as I was just thinking, wow, 10 episodes, I immediately followed it with the thought, yeah, but it's just 10 episodes. I mean, some podcasts have like hundreds and thousands of episodes. Oops. It can be a hard habit to break, right? But I think it's so worth it because I'd so much rather live in the energy and the vibration of that first thought where I said, wow, 10 episodes, double digits, woohoo, rather than immediately and automatically undercutting all of my achievements with saying, oh, it's just 10 episodes. Let's celebrate when we get to 100. That's no fun. Come on. It's 10 episodes. Woohoo. We're better than that. So anyway, we're going to get into this idea more in this episode, but I feel like I focused more on some of the other reasons to eliminate the word just. And I think this idea of really allowing something to be awesome without undercutting it is also important because it just feels better. That's the good use of the word just, not a bad one. But anyway, it feels better, right? To just let something be awesome. And that's really what we're going for when it comes to managing our mindsets and manifesting our careers. We want to be doing and thinking and talking in the terms that make us feel good and that make us feel empowered and awesome, rather than the ones that keep us feeling small. I also, in this episode, forgot to give the URL for the Facebook group. So I'm going to do that now. It's facebook.com/groups/the Aligned Actor Community. It's always in the outro, but as I was listening back and doing kind of a quality control check on this episode, it bugged me that I didn't mention it sort of in that particular moment. So there's my dog. That's fun. So anyway, now I haven't mentioned the URL. And there's lots of noise, so let's just get out of this and go right to the episode. Enjoy! Welcome to the Aligned Actor Podcast. I'm Amy Schlerb, and I am an actor and a student of conscious creation, looking to learn, grow, and share my experiences with you so that together we can master our mindsets and manifest the careers of our dreams. Let's play! Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the podcast. Something I've been thinking about lately is trying to eliminate the qualifying word just from how I talk about myself and my career. So for example, saying stuff like, oh, it's just a commercial audition, or, SchloerBITS it's just a little web series that I do by myself. But no more. I don't want to do that anymore. No more just anything. And I know that sometimes I use the word just because I don't want people to think I'm bragging or somehow trying to spin something to sound way better than it actually is. But really, I've come to find out that people are going to judge me no matter what, and they can just go look at whatever the thing is and decide for themselves. So, I don't want to belittle my achievements anymore, and I don't want you to belittle your achievements either, for two really important reasons that I think they're really important for our mindsets and for the mindsets of people around us. So reason number one is I think we do ourselves a disservice when we don't acknowledge how great something is, even if it's quote unquote small. If we don't recognize and celebrate all of these things, if we just continually say, well, it's just a blank, it will never be enough. We're never going to be happy because we'll always be going, yeah, but it's just an Oscar. I mean, I don't have an EGOT, right? Like, that's a ridiculous example, but, you could see that, if somebody just continually goes through their life being like, well, it's just this, or it's just that, or whatever, kind of brushing things off, you could get to that point of well, it's just a 3-picture deal, but, I don't have a Pulitzer. I don't know, whatever the thing is. And from a conscious creator perspective, we want our brains to be wired to look for all the ways that we already have what we want, rather than looking for ways that we are lacking. Because when we live in that space of, look at what I have, this is awesome, we feel grateful and happy for more and more things, and then more and more good things will show up for us. And when we live in that other space of, it's not enough, this is not what I wanted, this is fine, but I want that over there, that looks really cool. That's a space of lack. And we feel bummed, and we feel down, and we feel like it will never be enough, because that's how we're used to seeing things, to seeing everything in our world. So it will never be enough for us. I truly believe that when we can be grateful for everything, every little thing, every little good thing that happens in your career, then we'll find more and more things to be grateful for. I have found that to be the case for me, definitely. And number two, I think that when we say it's just a blank, we put a value judgment on that thing. And that thing might actually be a pretty big deal for someone else. Saying something like, I booked this thing on this show, but, it's just a co-star. To someone who's never booked a job, that ends up putting down what to them is a pretty big goal, right? I mean, even if you've moved on in your career and you're a guest star or series regular level or whatever, there was a time when a co-star was huge. Remember that? I mean, it's just an audition. So many people would kill for an audition. So don't poo-poo what you have, because I guarantee someone else would look at what you have and go, wow, that's my dream. So if you're complaining about I have to walk all the way across the Fox lot, and some, I don't even know how big the Fox lot is. I've never been there, I don't think. Someone else would be like, I would love to walk all the way across the Fox lot. That would be amazing. I think what it all boils down to is the way we talk about ourselves to ourselves and to other people really matters. So the way that you talk to yourself and about yourself is the person you become and the person you are. So who do you want to be? There are days, I know certainly for me, when I catch myself saying, I'm just a struggling actor and a stay-at-home mom who sometimes gets callbacks and sometimes I get on a veil, whoop-de-doo, but I can't book anything. And those are basically just negative gremlin affirmations, They make me feel really crappy instead of positive affirmations that usually make me feel kind of uplifted and empowered. These things, they take me out of inspiration, out of action, they drag down my energy. But when I can tune into all of the great things that I do have going on for me in my career, I feel better. And more good things come to me because my brain is open and ready to recognize them. So for example, earlier this month, I went straight to callback on a commercial audition because it was a director I had worked with previously. And because I've trained my brain to look for how great things are in my career and to look for more and more things to be grateful for, I recognized this not just as straight to callback. I recognized this as, I am known in the industry. Like, this director knows who I am, knows my work, and wants to work with me again. So he brought me straight to a callback, which has been a major career goal for me, and it's manifested. But if I were used to living in that space of lack or that space of, nothing's really happening in my career, I might not have recognized it for how cool it was. I might have just said, it's just a callback. I mean, it's great to skip the first round, but it's not like they just offered me the job or something. I hear actors and creative people all the time putting down or qualifying the amazingly wonderful things that are happening in their careers. And guys, I'm telling you from experience that this is not a fun place to live. I would much rather celebrate every little tiny small thing, everything, and not even call it small, but just celebrate every win and get excited about them rather than be like, but it's just this or it's just that or whatever. So please stop doing this. It's not healthy for your mindset. Please, my recommendation to you would be to recognize and be grateful for all of the things that show up in your career. I put it out there that I wanted to be known in the industry, and boom, this straight to callback showed up. And even though in the end I didn't book the job, I recognized and felt grateful for the ways in which my desires are manifesting right now in my career. And when we do that, that continues to happen. Where we put our focus and our attention is truly where the magic happens. Because it truly is our perspective that determines how successful we are. It depends on your definition and how you view the world. So I could say, oh, SchloerBITS is just a little web series that I do by myself and, it gets very few views. Well, that perspective doesn't feel great. And I have thought it. There are days when that is exactly the loop that plays in my brain. But then there are other days when I can focus on the positives. When I can say, SchloerBITS is an award-winning web series that people tell me all the time they love. Both perspectives are true. Both are absolutely true. The actual on paper facts of the situation, how many views SchloerBITS gets, how many awards it has, what people say about it, all that stuff have not changed. Only my perspective has changed and where I'm choosing to put my focus. I'm putting my focus on something positive instead of on something negative. A place of growth and a place of possibility rather than a place of lack. So where are the places in your life and in your career where you're saying it's just a fill in the blank? And thereby, you're belittling yourself and the amazing things that you have going for you in your career. I mean, did you get a straight offer, but you still feel like you have to say, but it's just my friend's project? If you want to be a straight offer actor, get used to recognizing when you are, even if it is, quote, just your friend's project. Actually, I'm telling you, saying it's just my friend's project is actually just your inner critic and your inner gremlin who's afraid of you changing and becoming the amazing person you want to be. So that's just fear, and you can let that go. That's something I've been trying to work on a lot too. And trust me, it's so worth the work of that. Because you don't want to play small. If you want to be a straight offer actor, you got to recognize it when it happens. Even if it's not happening in the way that you kind of pictured it, if you can start recognizing how it's happening, I think that's a healthier mindset to be in. And I think that's a more fun and playful mindset to be in. And I think that's a mindset of possibility. So that's my recommendation to you. So my challenge to you is to stop saying it's just a blank when you're talking about your stuff, anything happening in your career. I have an audition and leave it at that. Or I'm shooting a short film and leave off but it's just with my friends. Our words matter because they affect our mindset, and our mindset affects how we show up in this business and who we become in this business. And that little gremlin, that little negative ego voice that tries to pop up and tell you, this isn't enough, this isn't actually all that cool, it's just trying to keep you small. Don't let it. You are awesome, and you deserve to recognize that. And wouldn't you much rather just dismiss that voice altogether so that you can revel in how cool things are? Isn't it more fun to recognize how cool things are and be excited about them rather than have to qualify them in any way? It's a much more playful place. It's a much more fun place, trust me. I've done this many, many, many years, and I have just now come to realize that it's way more fun to leave off to eliminate the just. So please come play with us in the Facebook group. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Please share this podcast with your friends. If you take a screenshot of it, you can tag me on Instagram at Amy Schlerb in your story or in a post or whatever. I'd really appreciate it because I would love for this podcast and our Facebook group to grow so that we can all support each other. That's all I want. I want actors to feel good about themselves and about their careers. And I think when we eliminate the word just, the qualifying word just, and we let ourselves live in the good thing rather than having to qualify it, you basically take away instead of having like this awesome thing and then undercutting it, you just get to live in the awesomeness. And wouldn't we all rather live in the awesomeness? I know I would. So let's all live in the awesomeness together. Okay. Talk to you later, guys. Bye. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. If you feel inspired to do so, please subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast with your actor pals so that more people can enjoy the good vibes. Also, be sure to join the Aligned Actor community on Facebook by going to facebook.com/groups/the Aligned Actor community. That's the place where this podcast gets interactive. It's a pretty fun party. You're going to want to get in on it. Until next time, remember, you are an amazing actor and you are creating the career of your dreams. Congrats!